Hello, hello, and welcome to At Home with Lucas. So today we're going to be talking about Wirsh bean to espresso machine, and we're going to talk about how to deal with a full-blown clog or how to keep it clean so you never have it clog up. This is something that happens, especially if you use oily beans. If you're going to be using oily beans in any kind of burr grinder, it's going to clog up and you're going to have to go in there and clean it out on the regular more often than you would if you just had regular beans that had little to no oil. So darker roasts typically have more oil. Peats are known to have a lot of oil. Starbucks are known to have a lot of oil. So if you buy those beans on the regular, you're going to need to clean this thing out probably every, I would say every week easily. You're going to get in there, give it a good clean. And of course, if it clogs up, you're going to come to this video and I'm going to show you the simple fix that's going to get you back up and running in no time, people. This is super simple and very straightforward. So let's go ahead and jump into it.
Okay, so you're trying to clean out your grinder, or your grinder has completely come to a stop and it's actually not working anymore. Nothing is coming down. I'm going to show you exactly how to fix this without any stress. It's super simple. Don't worry, we're going to get it back up and running in no time. So the first thing you're going to want to do is actually just unplug your power cable. Make sure that this thing is fully shut off. It does have a really safe auto shut off once you remove the hopper, but just to be safe, unplug it. Now let's go ahead and turn this counterclockwise. And we're going to pull this out of here. And then the first thing you're going to notice is you have a lot of ground up beans in here and whatnot. So you're going to take this and you're going to turn it counterclockwise and you're going to pull it out. That's going to remove the first portion of this. Now what you can do is you can wipe this out with a brush, or you can simply run it through the sink, but you have to make sure that this thing is 100% dry before you put it back into here. Next thing you're going to want to do is vacuum all this out. So I'm just going to use a regular vacuum like this right here. Okay, now that you have vacuumed it all out, you're going to want to use the tools that were provided to clean the additional spots in here to get some of that caking to come off. Of course, when you run it, some of that will fall off as well. Pull out the drip tray, set this aside, and then tucked back in here are all the tools that you're going to need, and your single shot of espresso fits in here as well. So I don't use that ever, so I tuck it away in here. So they give you a pipe cleaner right here. This thing is crucial for this job. And then this brush is very, very important. It has super long bristles for a reason, and then it has a little piece right here, which we'll talk about in a second. And then down in here, this is actually how you're going to be able to clean out your frother. So your steam wand over here, you're going to be able to stick that in there and clean that out. And then if you flip it over, this other side is actually for the filter. There it is right there. So that's for the filter. So they basically give you all the tools you're going to need to keep this thing running smoothly. Okay, one thing you can do that's really simple is take your filter that comes with it and actually just set it right in there, and then that's going to catch everything that falls down out of the top here. So that way you don't have a messy drip tray down here. It doesn't get full of gunk. And actually this is a fun little hack. You can put this in after every time you do the grinder. So if you do the grinder, throw that in there, put your portafilter, of course, over here, brew up your espresso shot. Okay, so one thing you can do if you are very, very careful and you make sure there's nothing in the grinder itself is when you have it plugged in, you can actually just take this little tool right here and push on the red back there, and you'll hear a little click. Now this is engaged, so you can actually run it really quickly and then let it go. So you can press your grind button while holding this down, and then you can watch it spin out, and then that way you can make sure it's fully clear before you put it all back together. So that's something you need to use extra caution with. But here's the long bristle right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to get all down in there, and you're just going to start to break up everything that's down there, and you can see my stuff is already breaking up completely. And you basically just want to expose all the red plastic down there. You want to make sure that you can see it, and then on the grinder itself, you want to make sure all the little tines, all the little pieces of metal are exposed, and you just want to clear everything off really nicely and get all inside of there. Once you've done that and you feel like you've completely brushed enough and you can see all the red, there's no caking or anything like that, you're going to want to take your pipe cleaner, and there's basically one main chute, and it's right here in the front. So you just shove your pipe cleaner down, and then you'll notice it can actually go all the way down and stick out of the bottom right there. There you go. You can see there's a little handle right here you can hold on to. And this is the most important cleaning you can do for this entire unit. It is absolutely crucial. This is the clincher right here. And you can see we're catching some ground coffee down there. You want to make sure you move it right and left and get all inside of there. And then what you're going to do is pull it out, and then you want to put it in the other slot over here, because it's basically one chute that can, that piece of plastic sometimes is blocking it, but if you run the grinder, it may actually stop and not block it. You may get the whole thing, so you may not have to go on either side. Once again, you just keep going down, and you can see we're clearing out and making sure this thing is super clean. Okay, so this is actually something that I've started to do with this machine. This does not come with it. This is a simple floss with a dental pick. This is something I've found to be super crucial, and I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay, so you're going to use the pick side, of course. You're not going to use the dental floss side. You don't really need that. You just need this little hook down here. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to get the hook and you're going to run it down this way, and you're just going to bump the top portion of this, and you're really just going to scrape and scrape up at the top area up here. So you just want to kind of get this over this plastic lip and then down, and then go into the chute down there, and that's going to really clear out any pockets that are really tightly stuck in there. And then of course you can come into here and clear out anything around the red down there. You can just keep checking down here to see if you see any large chunks fall. Okay, I went ahead and cleaned this out. So this is what it should look like once you've cleaned it out. I just used the provided pipe cleaner, and I just cleaned all inside of here, made sure it's all nice and clean. I didn't use any water this time, so there's no worries of it creating a future clog. If there's any water in here and you put it back into here, what's going to happen is that water is going to clump with the ground coffee, and it's going to create a clog really fast. So you do not want this to be wet at all when you put it back into here. So you basically just set it back in, super easy. You turn it clockwise, you hear that little lock, close that back down. That's very crucial. And then of course you set your hopper with the little bump inside here, and then the little point there, and you just put it in place, turn it clockwise. And you always want to do this with no beans inside. So if there's any beans in here, dump them out and then put it back in. You want to make sure it goes back in empty. Set it back up, and now you're ready to grind. And you always want to do that before you finish your job to make sure if there was any clumps or anything, it'll completely clear it out. And there you go.
All right, there you go. That's the Wirsh bean to espresso cleaning. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely click that like button. And if you want to join the Adam Lucas family and you want to be a part of this crew, hit that subscribe button. Every time I get a subscriber, I get a boost to make more and more videos. And it's because of you guys I surpassed 5K. Yes, people, on my way to 6K, but I need your help. Yes, you right there. Tell your friends, tell your family, this guy's on YouTube. They should go subscribe and watch my channel. But as always, I thank you for watching each and every one of my videos, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.